Oh yeah, hey, I should probably start this video off, right? That's usually how it goes. Now, see, look, like, the secret to being a professional video online person is not to be professional at all, and just do it as you go, right?
Then that makes things a lot easier for me.
Oh yeah, the deck has to be facing us too.
Yeah. I was gonna show it off slowly.
Oh, is that how you want to do it?
The top.
Yeah, at least put the top card showing off. Hey, we're here with Lee. Hey, Lee, you got first place at the store championship with what deck?
I did with Blue Croc starter deck.
Oh, a starter deck, Blue Croc. This is not blue purple.
No,
this is not yellow.
No, this one's actually good.
Yeah. Oh, this is the good Croc.
Yeah, this is the good Croc.
Oh yeah. Hey,
he wasn't before, but he got two cards that made him great. And I guess I'll go start the video.
Yeah.
So
what do we got?
Just 2 of the 1-cost blocker.
Only 2 laws.
Yeah, it's nice just to have, and like it's like really good in certain matchups, like against like yellow, because yellow doesn't really have much removal. And even then, on a first turn play, it's like maybe you don't want to take a hit from someone, like maybe a more aggressive deck that might put someone down. So you just throw it down so you have a block. It's also good against like Katakuri because he like typically swings for 7.
Man, hey, Katakuri's a hot topic right now. I
know, right?
I cannot go with it. My feet keep updating with Katakuri.
Saki. So, but it is really good, and even like sometimes your opponent won't have anything to play on their second turn, so they'll just put like 3-4 Dawn on their leader and swing, and that's just like a free block. It gets you good value. So, for Kaya, it's just basic 2K, but it's every now and then you're in a bad position sometimes. So, like, say I'm going to keep bringing up yellow. You might be a good deck. But you might be playing against, say, like a Katakuri who has a 10-cost Big Mom on the field, and you don't have a way to address it. So maybe you play Kaya to get 2 cards
to get
cycled
red rock,
in. Maybe you might get a Red Rock. So it is a really good card if you need it. And you can always bounce it too. So there's that. Like maybe you play like a later. You'll see I have 10-cost Kaido. And I can just bring it back to your hand, give you your 2K back. Judge. So it's not completely a peasant Doffy, just so we're clear. Okay. It does have a judge stamp. This card, I was running at 4. I needed to make a little room, so I went down to 3. I'm gonna experiment with that. I might change it. It's really important to stack your deck. This is often the one card I want to see in my hand at the start of a match. There are others that I'll go through once I have the whole deck out, but I often want this card because a lot of times you can put it down, it protects you from a hit because it's a blocker. It has a decent stat line, so if they swing 5 at you, you can block and then put a 2K, so you can maybe protect something on your board. And the fact that you can see cards on the top of your deck, it's also valuable that you don't have to put them on top. Like a lot of people always think you have to put it on top. Sometimes you don't need those cards. You can just put them at the bottom so you can get to the stuff you need. That card is really useful. I often look for this to start games. I'm going to get back to her in a little bit, but this card is invaluable if you're playing Blue Crocodile. The fact that her ability is required for Blue Crocodile. She's a blocker in any deck, but she gets value off Croc. And it's not just on block. A lot of like really good characters have on block abilities. Like Killer, right? In green, 2-cost Killer. His ability's on block, not on KO. So if your opponent just pops it, you didn't get the ability. This is on KO. So it lets you search any event as long as your leader is Crocodile. I'm sorry, Baroque Works type, but whatever. It's really powerful, and it lets you like cycle events. So even if you're only running 3 Red Rocks or 2 Love Loves, you can get them back. You really have more than that. And it's a block, which is nice. I'll get back into this stuff with her in a little bit. Now, I don't know if I need this card at 4. But this card single-handedly destroys Law and Zoro. It's a little harder with Zoro because he can like Fire Fist it, but it destroys them because so many of their things are 1 or 2 costs. And being able to just play this, and sometimes I've played this when I wasn't playing against them. So its effect is Dawn ×1 when attacking. You can either spin a 2-cost to bottom of the deck or bounce it to hand. But that doesn't specify opponents or yours. So sometimes I'll play this just to get maybe a Kaya back.
Oh, that's pretty good.
In my hand. It is a good card. I don't know if it needs to be at 4. I've thought of dropping it to 2 or 3. But it's really powerful. I want to see it in my opening hand against Law or Zoro. Because it just completely deals with them. This card is not that good. It's just a 2K.
Yeah. What do you mean? But you mulligan, you get to redo your hand.
Hey, you can't. There was a point I was playing in the store championship actually, and I played this because it was against the Big Mom. I'm sorry, the Katakuri player I was playing, and I mulliganed my 5 cards in hand, and I found a red rock and played it. So that card is not awful. Plus, you can bounce it with Kaido later if you need to get your 2K back. 4K is a decent stat line, doesn't require much investment, so it's still useful. I don't know if I'd run it at 4 if I had to, but it's good enough. Then the most important card in this deck, Sentomaru.
4 winner copies, obviously.
Of course, yeah. We're trying not to look like peasants out here, best we can. This card is the most important card in 90% of your matchups. It plays this pacifista package, and that allows you to keep up with board. So I've brought up yellow a bunch of times because it is the hardest matchup. And against yellow, you can just fill your board up because of this card. And being able to do that is really powerful. It doesn't distinguish between might as well get through them right now. It doesn't distinguish between the vanilla pacifistas or the blocker. You can play either. And the fact that you can just go through your deck is really powerful. Now, it does not work with the Daffy very well. It's kind of anti-synergistic. And a lot of people used to play this in blue Daffy in earlier, like OPO2, but it just kind of goes against what that deck wants, because you want to stack, you want to be able to play from deck with Daffy. So this didn't work because it shuffles your deck. But I mean, who cares if it gives you the pacifista? So it doesn't work so much in blue Daffy, but I do think it works in blue Croc very well. I think this is the most important card in the deck. I'm just gonna tidy this up a little bit so that there's a little more room. And we'll just... These, I only have 3 just because of the way I'm running it right now. And I still have the peasant versions, don't worry. I'll eventually get the winter ones, but that's going to take a little while.
Yeah. I've heard other people got first dib on winter Mihawk already.
Yeah, a lot of people in this house. But I have 3. It's just a 2K. I've never played it.
You literally just played it just for a 2K?
I literally just played for a 2K. With the Kaya, there's a moment, like if you're in a bad position, sometimes playing this is worth it. Same thing with this, but I've never played. If I have to play that, I'm in a really, really bad position.
Now, why makes you choose Mihawk over, say, Alvida?
Because it's Mihawk. Also, I don't think Alvida's good. It requires you to pitch a card. I could, but I don't have any searchers, so I just prefer that. Because if I do have to play it, at least it's a 5K body. There have been times where I'll play this because I don't have anything else in my hand, so. Soga King. 9 cost Mihawk. 10 cost Kaido. Those are the bombs of the deck. I guess Soga King is not really a bomb, but... And I had this higher originally, but I dropped it down to 2. It's not a great card, but bouncing a 6 is powerful, and sometimes it can just destroy opponents. Like a lot of popular cards recently that have been showing up have been vanilla 6 costs. So, for instance, I was playing a Kuro the other day, Dean, and he dropped the 6/8 Kuro vanilla on me, and that's something I can't really address. Like this leader ability takes care of a 5. It bounces a 5. But I can't really handle a 6 unless I'm on a later dawn turn. So I'm guaranteed getting hit by that at 8. Or it's probably destroying a Sentomaru because green can rest stuff. Yellow runs the 6/8 as well. The Parasparrow. They also run the 5/7 Randolph. So being able to just bounce them on curve and establish a decent sized body. It's not great, but it works well enough. Mihawk's honestly much more useful, but he is 9 cost. 9k is a decent size. Stat line's not huge, but the fact that you can just spin a 7 is really powerful. Getting rid of threats right away, like 7 cost Big Mom or anything Law has on the board, and establishing a good body is just really good. And then, well, I forgot to mention, it does have a mandatory effect to cycle the Soga King. I oftentimes don't need it and kind of forget about it, but it is useful. And plus this has counter. So that's one of the reasons I run it over like the 7 cost Daffy, which just has a better stat line. But the fact that this has counter and might be able to help my hand, yeah, I think it makes up for it. Then there's Kaido. I said this is the most important card in the deck. This is the most powerful play this deck can make. Kaido and Croc, being able to swing with your board to possibly get rid of a blocker or something little, putting down 10 cost Kaido, bouncing an 8 and a 3,
and then using
using leader ability to -4 Dawn and pick up a 5. That just destroys board.
Yeah, that's 3 cards. That's 3 cards.
Yeah, it's hugely valuable. Easily the best play this deck can make. The problem is it is 10 cost, and once you've gotten some big bodies on the board, you're probably just using leader ability to keep the board empty. And it's just really powerful after that. I'm questioning whether or not I should run more than 2, but I think 2 is the right. I like this balance at the moment. I might change it a little bit. Love Mellow. This is an event that I think is good, but at 2 cost, it's the 4K counter basically.
Yeah.
Its effect is really powerful, but I don't know how great it is in Croc versus other decks. In a lot of other decks, you are often low in cards, but I don't find myself that low that often. A lot of times when I don't play anything on turn 1 and I have 2 Dawn up, I'll just counter out of Love Mellow. I'll just use Love Mellow as a counter and not even take advantage of the effect. I have thought of the other one, the Dragon Twister, the Kaido.
Was it the 2?
It's 2/4 and it spins a 1, or I think it spins a 1, and the trigger is bounce a 6. And I've thought of it just for the trigger because I feel like I see this all the time in life, but it's still really good either way. Right now I'm comfortable with this. I might swap to the other one. And I might as well just put down these 3 as well. So 3,000 Worlds is insane. It's so fucking good. It has a trigger that spins a 3, but its basic effect just spins a 5. And a lot of times I'll have like my board set up. I'll have like multiple I'll have like a pacifista. I'll have like maybe a Mihawk or something. And then the next turn comes around and I don't really have anything to play. So maybe I'll just swing with bodies. I'll play this and then use leader effect to the 4 Dawn that I just used. And I just get rid of 2 bodies that are at 5. It's really powerful into certain cards, especially ones with like on KO effects. Like it feels bad if you do it on something like this Miss All Sunday, but it does take away its effect. Same thing with like the 3 cost Parasparrow that you'd face in yellow. This is just
This
card is broken.
Yeah, it gets for every card in the game.
Like I run this at 3 because not every deck has giant bombs. Like if you're playing against Law or Zoro, they're probably not throwing down a bomb.
Yeah.
So this card is just a more expensive 3,000 Worlds. But when you do see it against something like Grape Daffy, who's dropping the 10 cost, or when you're facing another blue deck that has one of these 2 down, or against, of course, Big Moms, this card is amazing. And honestly, running it at 3 isn't even really necessary. Like, I could probably run it at 2, just because she can just get it for me again. Like, this card synergizes so well with these. It's like free hits that you just block out of, and you can just it's crazy how good they are. If I were to change anything in this deck, I'm not sure. I might get rid of maybe an ulti or 2. I might change up the 2Ks and how I distribute them. But right now it's I'm pretty happy with this. 4 Sentomaru, definitely, absolutely the way. You don't want to go less. 4 Pacifista and 2, I think is a good. I know a lot of people put this at 3, this at 3, and then put in the Kumas. Honestly, I don't think Kuma's that valuable, because there are not that many games that I have a lot of these. Don't get me wrong, there are, but to take advantage of the fact that Sentomaru is kind of not useful because these are all in my hand, I would need a Kuma too. So I think it just requires too much. It's still a decent body at 4/5, but I might raise Daffy up to a 4th body, just because, I mean, he's counter, and granted, then I'd have to get another alt. But...
Yeah, that's the problem, right?
That's the real problem.
Yeah, not playing another copy, just getting another alt.
That's right. That's why I'm happy that he's at 3 instead of 4. I mean, I could interchange these. But, yeah, for now. Other than that, you want to see this in Zoro. You want to see this in Zoro. You want to see that in Zoro. The Law. These 3 are really valuable to have early game. This, if you're not playing against someone with little bodies, there's no reason to have it unless you're in a bad position, like you've got a really bricked Mulligan or something, and then you like Kaya and then play this so you can bounce Kaya back. But beyond that, you're probably not gonna... You really want to see Sentomaru more than anything, which is why he's so good too, because he can just... And you want to see these sometimes. In a lot of matchups, these cards are really good. Just being able to, like, in film, against film, or Rebecca, getting bottom decking Luffy's in both of those decks is just really powerful. Because, like, again, for instance, Rebecca, the 7 cost Luffy that can restand is super, super powerful. Plus it attacks actives. And just saying, I don't need to worry about that is really, really powerful. Beyond that, I think the deck kind of just plays itself. Try and get the Pacifista engine going, and just try and get a big body that you can drop, so game's good. If you like yellow, sometimes I literally played in the store championship. I think my opening hand had like 1 or 2 of these, 1 of these, 1 of these, and I think a Daffy blocker or a Sentomaru, one of the 2. And I literally kept it instead of mulliganing, because that's how powerful these are against something like yellow. So, yeah, that's all I have for my deck list.
Final thoughts about this deck in this current meta. So how do you feel about this deck in the OPL4 meta, right? Going forward?
I think it is definitely one of the top decks. If I were to pick, like, I know that there's like some people who will be like, oh, tier 0, tier 1, tier 1. I think the 8 decks that can win: Whitebeard, Law, Katakuri, this, Zoro, Rebecca, Grape Daffy. Is that 7? I think that's 7. And there's one more deck probably that can win. Oh, and Queen. Thank you. I think those are the best decks for sure. I would say this is probably 4th or 5th best deck. But because it just straight up wins most like that, it loses to Cat, and Cat is everywhere right now. Doesn't do that bad against any other color, but Cat's difficult.
Yeah.
Beyond, like, I was sweating bullets when I played the Katakuri player. I was like, oh no, the one match I didn't want to see, and then he bricked, and I was like, ha, great.
Oh, but, was that your secret to beat Katakuri?
That is the secret.
Is that they bricked?
Well, he bricked, but he did play 3 10-cost big moms on me still, and lost still. So he bricked, but he still got 3 10-cost big moms throughout that game. And that's why that deck is hard, because it swings 7 at you. or higher if they don't have anything. And it plays it plays 10 cost big bombs, which takes your life. So even if they're not hitting you, they're hitting you.
Yeah.
And they're gaining life. That card is bonkers. But yeah, that's play Blue Croc. It's good.
All right. Any other final thoughts?
Nope. I'm doing pretty good on all tarts. Maybe fix up some of my Dons, but
All right. Hey, is there any place where people should go to buy cards from? Any site that they should go check out?
well, you definitely want to take a look at TCG Player. eBay is good too, but TCG Player, I shop from a particular seller, Van TCG. You may have heard of him. It's a pretty good seller.
Van TCG, or is that? Hey, can you spell that out for the audience?
Yeah, VANTCG.
Oh, .com?
I believe so.
Oh man, that's very important.
Not looking at Missouri either.
That's right. All right. Thanks for the deck for following. Thanks for your input. All right.
Of course.
All right. Kate, thanks. Bye.
Bye.